Good morning, parents. This is Sandra with your morning meditation. Before we jump in and learn the words of encouragement that Father has for you for today, please take a moment out and just hit that like button for me. It gives us the opportunity to share these meditations with more parents. And please do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already so that you won't miss any of our great content. So let's see the word that Father has for you today. Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles. Let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us, fixing our eyes on Jesus, the pioneer and perfecter of faith. For the joy set before him, he endured the cross, scorning its shame, and sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. He says you can throw off the sins that so easily entangle you and run with perseverance the race marked out for us. So, a lot of times there are things and propensities and leans that you may have that just seem to keep weighing you down, keep slipping into the same thing over and over. He's saying that there is a course. I've marked out a course for you, and the course that I have marked out for you will make it easy for you to throw off those things that entangle you. That's part of the path that he has set for you, that along the way, you can throw off these things. And as you mature and you develop your faith and your perseverance and the character and your love for him and your love for yourself and self-awareness and all of these things, he just matures you. Just imagine yourself going higher and higher. And as you do, there are certain things that can't survive in that air. Certain things will just drop off, just throw it off. So in your flesh, it may seem impossible, but in him, all things are possible. You can definitely do it in him. Fixing your eyes. How are we going to do it? By fixing your eyes on Jesus, the pioneer. He went first and perfecter of faith. He went first and he showed you that this is possible, that you can throw it off. In him, you can. In him, you can do anything that you desire to do. For the joy set before him, he endured the cross, scorning the shame. He knew the embarrassment. I couldn't imagine. We can't wrap our mind around his experience, what the shame that he suffered, the persecution, the ridicule, the defamation of character, just everything that he suffered. But he did it for one reason. He could have any moment, and he says it in the word, I could at any moment call 12 legion of angels. They would have been to his side before he even finished speaking the words, and humanity would have had a whole nother tale to tell. But he said, I'm going to be still. I'm going to endure this, because he looked through the annals of time and he saw you. He saw you, what you would be going through. He saw you, saw your parents. He saw your life. He saw your trek. He's seen it all. And he said, for you listening to this, he said, you are worth it to me. And I'm going to go through this and make sure right time, right place, you're going to be born, and I'm going to be right there with you. And I'm going to walk this out with you and bring you from victory to victory. So when he says, I have a plan for you, I have a path for you, the plan and the path is the easiest, most wonderful, most prosperous, most successful, most empowering, most beautiful path that you could have. But too often we vary from the path because we lose faith, because it's taking too long, it would seem, on his route. And we think there's some shiny things off on the side there. Remember, it always looks greener on the other side. And we're deceived by the mirages. And we go off in the desert by the highways and byways looking for the things that we think would feed the need that's within us. And we stray from the path and we get into situations and things happen because we're in a realm and we're in that space. He said, you didn't have to go through that. There are things that we go through that we didn't necessarily need to go through. But even in that, he says, I'm not going to stay on the path and you go off by yourself. You go off, I'm right there with you. So wherever you are today, doesn't matter what has happened, he is right there with you. In the fire, in the water, in the pit, wherever you are, he is right there with you. And he is willing to get you out, willing to help you in it, through it. And he says, he says, when I bring you out, how I bring you out is going to be spectacular. People are going to look at you and know that he was with you, that he is with you. So hold on to your faith. Hold on. Let him who is the perfecter of faith perfect the faith and strengthen your faith. And then you will, as he has the joy and he is sat down at the right hand of God, we are with him in heavenly places. Remember that. So you have a representative there, the right hand of God. And it's not just him. Father, as Father loves his son, equally, Father loves you. And maybe you could say even more because he sacrificed his son for you. So if he loved his son more than he loved you, he wouldn't have sacrificed him. He would not have permitted him to go to the cross. But because he loves you more than he loved his son, he sacrificed him. They sacrifice, went through such trauma and pain. Could you imagine watching your son, watching him go through that and do nothing to step in, knowing that him sitting and allowing it to happen, turn in his face, knowing that Jesus felt alone when he did that, that they both endured what was their part to endure because in their mind, they were only focused on you, that they needed to do it for you. So let that really seep into your soul today. It doesn't matter what you're going through. They went through that for you. So what could you go through that would make them leave you? What could you possibly do that they would say, that's you just crossed the line, I'm done? They'll never. Nothing that you could do could make them walk away from you. Nothing that you could do could make their love for you downgrade, not even a speck. Their love for you is full and fresh and new every morning. They give you measure of grace. They have angels surrounding and protecting you. Remember, they will not force you, but they are there to protect you, to guide you. Rest and luxuriate in the fact that you have one who loves you so much. We are in a world where we go through things or things we don't understand. But if we get caught up in the fact that we need to understand every little bit before we trust him, we're not going to trust him. If we need to agree with everything that he does the way, then we're not going to agree with him. We can only give him our faith and trust him. Be guaranteed that you will never regret having trusted him. You will never regret, no matter what happens, you will never regret having trusted him. You will never regret having had faith in him. You will never find any grounds to regret it. In the moment, it may feel like it, but trust me, hold on. Sometimes we have to close our eyes to go forward. Sometimes we just have to cling on hard to go forward. But make sure that when you're closing your eyes and you're clinging, that in your mind's eye, you see the cross. In the mind's eye, you see Christ seated in heavenly places. In your mind's eye, you focus on the word that says, I will never leave you nor forsake you, that I have a plan for your life to prosper you and not to harm you, that I do all things for your good and not for your harm. It may feel like the process feels bitter and harmful, but it is just the perception that we have in this flesh. His goal for you is beyond what you could ever imagine. He doesn't say what you could ask for. He says it's more than you could imagine. So think your best and then smile and rest your heart knowing that even that he's going to exceed. If you haven't done so already, please, 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 pretty please, do click that thumbs up button to let me know that you see value in this. Also, please remember to check out your app store for our Coaching for Parents app. It has some amazing free content that is going to be invaluable to you as you navigate raising your tweens and teens. And as you go into your day, remember that you are highly blessed, greatly favored, and deeply loved, and that you already are victorious in Him. So go forward today with the expectation of success. And keep your eye open for little treats that He may have already planted along the pathway of this day for you. I'll see you tomorrow, same time, for another moment of meditation.